performance. I like y'all.
There you go, Coach.
Fight against the rain. I love it. I love it. Practice 7, you know, coming away from the scrimmage and really seeing where we are. Kind of felt it after Saturdays, but a really clean scrimmage. Not a lot of turnovers, not a ton of penalties, and not a ton of missed assignments. Really came away very, very impressed with Justin Davis from the scrimmage and how he did. I thought he ran extremely violently, and I thought there were some flashes of some really hard hitting out there, especially from Jabari Ruffin. And going back and watching how physical he played and Chinna played out there on the edges, came away with that. To get back out here, practice 7, had a couple bumps and bruises from that scrimmage, held a couple guys out, so we're a little bit more limited defensively. That's why somebody stand over the ball just a hair longer so they can catch their breath. Didn't cut practice down at all, but just a hair long, just a hair between reps to let them get lined up, catch their breath, make sure we're in the right spot. Came away, Sam Darnold, I thought, had his best day today. Really was impressed with him. Best practice by far for him, and really saw some nice things from Tyler Petit. I really thought to have him back after a concussion, really got back out here and did a very, very nice job. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
The last few years, some of the receivers have talked about how one guy always seems to get most of the catches. Mm-hmm. Is that a quarterback thing or a play calling thing, or what's been the reason?
No, I think one of the things that you see right now that I'm really thrilled about is the number of balls that are being spread around. You know, and a lot of times, you know, over the years you've seen what the play caller sometimes designs that for a specific person. I remember Coach Kiffin, how well he did with Robert Woods and Marquise Lee of getting those catches to him. You see him doing the same thing with Ridley now and Cooper when he had him. You know, right now, I really like the quarterbacks, what they're doing of just they're playing against a defensive scheme and they're spreading the ball around and they're beating the coverage rather than focusing in on one guy, and that's kind of what we want right now. We want to be able to take our system and play against any defense and for them to be able to operate, and that means the ball needs to be spread around. You kind of saw that last year, 9, 10 receivers, different receivers catching the ball. I hope that continues, really do. That's a great question.
What do you need to see from Justin Davis?
I told him today, you know, one of the things that I'm seeing is the maturity of him as a runner, but one thing I'm very proud of, if everybody remembers when he first got here, it was life or death with him throwing and catching the ball. You know, it could go off his face, it could go off his chest, and he has improved so much in that area. And I even told him today, I asked him the question, said, hey Justin, how many balls did Buck Allen catch his senior year? Well, he caught over 40. And if you truly want to be a professional football player in today's time, you have to catch the ball out of the backfield. And he's worked so hard to do that. I think that's where he's excelled the most right now, is becoming a more complete player in the passing game. Always has been a good runner. Always has been a good runner. Wow, y'all want to get out of here quick, don't you?
How pleased are you with Hawkins Cedric Ware?
Very. I think the light's kind of coming on for him. You always see it. It's at different times when freshmen come in. Some guys, it's the first game. Sometimes it's the 5th game. Sometimes it takes a year, or it takes you to be able to go through a spring and mature. And you're starting to see flashes of that out here. Especially, he was another guy in the scrimmage that I thought did a nice job of running the ball, and you keep on seeing it out here. He's one of those violent runners too. One of those big backs that really can pour it between the tackles. That he reminds you of the Buck Allens. He reminds you of the Justin Davises, that style of runner.
What did Sam do to have his best day today?
I thought he was efficient and accurate. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing his numbers today, but I would bet anything it was over 70% completion ratio. I thought he played very fluid and timely. The ball came out quick. There wasn't a lot of, I'd seen in some early practices of holding on that ball to making sure it was open. Now the ball seems to be spitting out, and usually that means there's a lack of confusion. Confusion creates hesitation, and hesitation at the quarterback position will get you beat. Say it one more time. Injury report, let's see. Chinna had a little bit of a sprained MCL today from the scrimmage. Doing well. I would imagine he's probably going to be Thursday, Saturday, somewhere in that range. Osa Messina is so close to coming back. Yeah, you're starting to see him move around and do some things. I think he's really close. You saw Juju Smith do some routes versus air. Just with those hamstrings, we want to be really careful getting them back, but they're starting to move into some things. Jacob Daniel had a little bit of an ankle today. We pulled him from practice at the end. We'll see where he's at after that. John Plattenberg's about in the same situation with the ankle. I would expect he's probably going to need another 2-3 days on that. We'll see where it's at. Anybody else you can think of? Rojo just wasn't feeling good, and he just wasn't feeling great, so we just sat him to the side. He's a guy that you always want 100% when you got that type of player. We've got a little bit of sickness going around. It just wasn't feeling right, so I told him to go stand on the side and take it easy. All righty, guys. Thank y'all so much. See you Thursday.